Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you very much for picking me up after my car's had a bit of a failure this morning.
All juice cars seem to be having a bit of a failure at the moment, don't they?
It must be a bit of a curse.
Yeah, what terrible weather as well, isn't it?
Not pleasant, I miss the sunshine.
Yeah, there we go. Not far to juice anyway. So I'm just having to concentrate on driving.
I would rather you do that, that's absolutely fine.
You've chosen the song I Will Survive to sing at the end. Why did you choose that song?
It's been a bit of a mad year for Databasix. We spent the first 6 months of this year doing some crazy hours trying to help lots of people get ready for GDPR. Oh. So we were often, when we were together in the office, singing that in solidarity, and we'll get to the end of this year. So.
And what a great voice you've got as well.
Absolutely, I bang it right out, practice in the shower.
Thank you. Okay, so normally you'll be practicing your 60 seconds, I'm guessing, on your way to juice. So.
Absolutely, it's always a good chance to try and think through what I'm going to say. Do you remember the session you did a couple of months back about what makes a good 60 seconds?
Yeah.
I try and often sort of think through that and break it down bit by bit as I'm driving over. That's always really helpful.
And what are you trying to get across? What's the main message?
So the first thing I look at always doing is obviously saying who I am, where I'm from, and then getting a very sort of short, succinct statement about what it is that we do, because sometimes I think people are hearing it for the first time. It could be potentially quite complicated, so I want to get something that's sort of sharp and punchy over about what we offer. Okay. So it'll sort of typically sound something like, hi, I'm Regina from Databasix. We're an award-winning data protection and data management consultancy. Okay. We work with small and medium-sized businesses and charities to help them look at their data protection, understand what data they've got, where it is, and make sure that they're managing it properly, both through policies, processes, and then making sure staff know what those policies and processes are, and they're not just sitting on a shelf gathering dust.
Okay, right. And how do you get because I think that people don't really sort of get data security or security generally, do they? They kind of they're not bothered about it. How do you engage with them, and how do they use you for the first time? So often we'll find that people will have looked at it potentially from an IT perspective. I'm sure you'll recognise that, Kevin. Yep. Or they'll be focusing on it sort of within one aspect of their business. So a lot of people get very focused on consent and marketing, and they forget about all the data they hold. So one of the first things we'll do will tend to be to go in and do an audit with a client and look at where are they at. So what data have they got? How is it protected? Have they got appropriate policies in place? What are the risks? Is it high sensitive information like medical information? And often people forget about their employee data and other information that they're using. So we try and take that whole business approach and then give them sort of very clear gap analysis, really, to say this is what is good and this is where you need to improve or where you've got absolutely nothing, with an implementation plan that they can either then take forward themselves if they feel that they can spend the time internally, or a lot of clients will then come to us and either ask us to review what they do themselves because they want that control and ownership, but a lot of them will also ask us to come in and use our expertise and knowledge to guide them and help write those policies for them and do their staff training and implement it for them, which for a lot of businesses it takes so much time and it can be so overwhelming. They don't have time, do they? People don't have the time, or actually they don't have the expertise either, do they?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of good information out there and we try and share that through our various social media channels, but it can be overwhelming because there's so many different aspects to it. It's not something that you've done, it's something that you have to change the culture of your business and work in a way that promotes good data protection. So, Kelly and I were part of the NHS before we set up the business, so that's why we have got that knowledge of how to handle confidential and sensitive data on a daily basis and keeping it secure. So we've brought that out to other businesses. Okay,
and how would people get in contact with you if they wanted to engage with you?
So we've been really lucky through Juice and other networking we've done that we've got some very good referrals, so that's always nicely done through an email introduction, and we're always very appreciative of those. The other way, we've got our information on our website, contact us address. And obviously, at the moment we're both working on our mobiles, and we don't want those to go out into the wider web world and get lots of spam calls that we'll then have to complain to the ICO about. So, generally it'll be an email intro, and then we'll obviously share our details with people when they're actually genuinely interested in working with us. So,
brilliant. Okay. Wow.
Well, we're here, really already here. It's gone quite quick.
Already. Good luck with your 60 seconds today.
Thank you. I'm competitive and always like to win the best 60 seconds.
Well, and you've won it.
I have, yes.
Well, and
I think that was when I gave out freebies, though. So maybe there's a bit of a hint.
Well, you did come prepared, in fairness, didn't you? So that's always good. But excellent. Okay. Well, good luck with that. So anyway, before we go, we better do our song.
Oh yeah, we didn't get a chance to get to that.
I think what I'll do is I'll count us in, if that's okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.